Hey, so last week something pretty interesting happened, and I don't know if any of you saw it, but Bernie Sanders was trying to block the sale of weapons to Israel through the Senate, and I'm showing it to you here. And it says U.S. Senate rejects Bernie Sanders' effort to block arms sales to Israel. Long or the short of it is that, you know, President Biden is selling, I don't know, $80 billion or something of that in weapons to Israel, and Sanders is trying to block that. He's trying to at least stop some weapons from getting in. Not all. It looks like he's all right with, some getting in, but not all. But it brings to light something extremely important. Israel's aid, for the most part, is coming by way of our Congress. They are the ones that have the money. They decide what money goes when, where, why, and how. That's it, right? And so through these budget appropriations, they set up a certain amount of money, and that money has destinations, and that money has to get to that destination. For example, the U.S. Foreign Assistance Act of 1961, the U.S. Israel Security Assistance Authorization Act of 1976, the 10-year Memorandum of Understanding. This is the one that Obama put together in 2016. The National Defense Authorization Acts, the NDAA, and then the Foreign Operations Appropriations Bills. These are laws. That means you can't just decide that you're not going to give weapons or money to Israel when the law states that you have to, right? And that's the power that the president doesn't have. Congress can get together tomorrow and say, you know what, we're going to stop the flow of weapons, and we're going to stop the flow of money into Israel until they, stop the genocide. We're not doing it anymore. And they can stop it tomorrow, because that's where the money comes from. Congress has the power of the purse, and I'm going to show you the clause in the Constitution. So this clause pretty much states, if there's anything that has anything to do with money, Congress is the one that's approving it, writing it, and making it happen. And the president can't just now decide unilaterally, I'm not going to do that, right? Because when a budget is appropriated, it's done by law. So if you don't do what is asked in that budget, you are essentially breaking the law. My biggest question is whether or not the organizers, like the pro-Palestinian organizers that came after Harris for the larger portion of her campaign, did they know that it's not Biden or Harris that's supposed to, that can unilaterally stop this influx of weapons and money? Did they know that? And did they care? And why have they not set up behind any congressional engagement? And why have they not been to any Trump rally? They only went to Harris rallies, interrupted and said, hey, stop the genocide, stop the genocide. No one went to any Congress members' events. They were campaigning too. No one went there. Everyone went to Harris. And now that the election is over, no one's really going anywhere. But Sanders quietly put out this bill, and it was just as quietly shut down. Because the real power, folks, happens in the bills. They don't happen with the president. And you sank, our pro-Palestinian friends sank, for the most part, support for Harris based on a lie. Who paid you? Who paid you? Because I got to know now. Because the strategy, where does the strategy lead? What would you have liked to see happen? Harris say something that she can't do because she needs congressional approval? That don't smell funky to you? And then all of a sudden at November 7th, folks disappear into the midnight. And now folks are done with the US and they've moved on to, other things. That don't seem funky to you? That doesn't seem a little bizarre? Something to think about. Also, where the hell is Jill Stein?